Stampers, it's Julie from thepaperpixie.com, and today's video I'm going to show you how to make this sweet origami treat pouch that can be used for party favors, for a baby shower or a wedding shower, or even just to put little notes in and throw in your children's lunch boxes. It would just be a really fun thing to open. And you can make this in varying sizes. This one is made from a 6" by 6" piece of designer series paper. You can certainly make it smaller or larger. The smaller you go, the harder it would be to fold the paper. So I think 6 by 6 is what I recommend. I wouldn't go much smaller than that. But I've also seen really cool ones of these made with a 12" square piece of designer series paper, and you can fit a lot of fun things inside that pouch. So this one I chose to use the Lullaby Designer Series paper in coordinating colors. I also made a little boy's version, which is really sweet. And so let's get started. I want to show you how to put this together. Again, we're going to start with a 6 by 6 piece of designer series paper, and you want to decide which side of the designer series paper you're going to have showing outwards, and so I like this little pattern here. So with that said, you're going to flip it over and we're going to start folding at a diagonal, so corner to corner, and we're going to fold and burnish each of these to make these folds very crisp. Then you're going to turn it again and do it just the opposite way. Again, corner to corner and burnish. Then using those guidelines that you made, and they're going to be hard to see on camera and they're also hard to see in person as well, but you're going to fold this corner here up to that center fold that you just made, lining up this center crease line. You're going to do the same thing on both sides. It's the key to origami. But we're also going to fold one more time from the bottom here up to that center line. And don't worry if that little point sticks out. That's not really going to make much of a difference. If you need to, you can pull this piece up and that'll help you guide where this bottom piece needs to fold up to. Sometimes I find it's easier to turn it sideways. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, folding this point up to that center line, lining up that center crease. I'm going to do the same thing, fold it up one more time. Again, if you need to fold it up to find those lines, go ahead and do that. Now the designer series paper is a little bit thicker than what you would typically use for origami, so you just have to be gentle with it. If you're too rough with it, you're going to start to have your paper tearing. So we've made those folds on here. Now we're going to fold, and this is a little bit of a tricky part. We're going to fold this corner to match up with this corner here. And we're going to do that 4 times, turning it 1/4 of a turn each time. And you'll notice I'm using these flaps that I've folded back as my guide. So I just did that. We're going to turn it 1/4 turn. We're going to do the same thing, this corner to this corner. All right, another 1/4 turn, this corner to this corner. Now the great thing about having this tutorial on video is you can pause and replay as often as you need to. I found whenever I've watched any origami videos, that's exactly what I did. I paused, rewound, replayed, just to get the hang of each of the folds. And that just helps me a lot. So, okay, we've done those folds. Now we're going to fold these flaps back, and we're going to fold this side up to this first crease here. We're not going to the middle, we're going to this first crease here. So it's a thinner fold here. We're going to burnish, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. This edge to this middle crease line that we've made. Again, always lining up that center fold. Those folds are all there to help you fold these in the right direction and then in the right place. So now that we have those two sides, we're going to fold this in half like a sandwich or a paper airplane. and I'm gonna turn it around. And this is a little bit of a tricky part as well, but you're gonna stick your thumb up under this corner, and you'll see there's a crease here. We're gonna pop this out. You see that? Stick your thumb under here, pop this out, and then we're gonna crease like that. So there's this little triangle piece. Now what I find helps me here is flipping this over, and I'm lining up the crease line here with the crease line along here. That's just gonna make sure those are lined up properly. And then I'm gonna burnish. Kind of flip this side over as well and burnish here the same. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side as well. So again, stick your thumb under there to pop that out. And then I flip it over to make sure this line meets up with this line. And I'm gonna burnish. Okay, so now we have what looks like this, and I'm gonna separate these two sections here, and I'm gonna fold this piece down. I'm also gonna burnish just to make that a very crisp fold there. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Spread these two sections apart and then fold this down. Now you can use a mini glue dot here up in the corner to hold this in place, but you don't need it. So I'm not going to do that for purposes of this video, but you could certainly do that and that would hold it together. And then the next step is I just kind of make sure that these pieces inside are flat, and we're going to meet these two sides up together. Now the next thing is you'll see that there are crease lines, which is one of the last folds that we had done. You want to pinch those inwards, and the paper will work with you. I'm hoping that shows up on the video. And then pinch those inwards. So you have this crease here, and it's the same thing on the other side. So that is essentially the origami treat pouch. Now we're going to punch a couple of holes so we can tie our little sweet ribbon on the top, like we've done here with the baker's twine. There's two different tools you could use for this. You could use your Crop-A-Dile. That's not currently a Stampin' Up! Product, but it will punch through all of these layers at once. So if you've got a Crop-A-Dile on hand, go ahead and use that. Or you can use our 1/8 inch circle punch, which is new in our 2014 to 2015 catalog. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take one of these sides, so I'm not going to be able to punch through both of them unless you're super strong. You certainly could try. I'm not very strong, so I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole on either side of this center crease here. And I'm about 1/4 of an inch away from that center fold, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now using these holes as guides, I'm just going to close that and punch through those holes to the other side. All right, so the punches are done. Now let's add a little treat. Surprisingly, I can fit an entire Lindor truffle on the inside of this pouch, which I love those chocolates, but it fits perfectly. It fills up that entire space in there. So that's what we're gonna store in there. Thought that'd be fun for party guests to receive. And then we're gonna just feed through our crisp cantaloupe baker's twine. I love this extra thick baker's twine. And we're gonna just tie a little bow. Use ribbon as well. Depending on the width of the ribbon, you'd need to probably punch a little bit of a larger hole, so just keep that in mind. That looks pretty good. I'm going to trim off those frayed ends. Okay, sweet. So now we're going to just do a little bit of stamping, and we're going to use the A Fitting Occasion stamp set. This is really sweet. It's got a circular stamp set that says little one, and I love this little elephant with the heart. So we're going to use soft suede. for the little one, the little one stamp. Okay. And then I'm going to use Hello Honey for the little elephant. Cute. I love this Hello Honey color. Okay, so we're going to punch this out with the 1-inch circle punch. Fits perfectly around the fitting occasion stamps. Okay, we got that punched out, and then we're going to use our 1 1/4 scallop circle punch, and we're going to punch out a little piece from Crisp Cantaloupe. Then I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals, and don't throw away this extra stuff on the side because there's still some good dimensionals there. I just kind of trim off a couple pieces from the edge. I'll put 1 dimensional there. And another dimensional on the back. And we'll pop that right on the front of our origami treat pouch. And we're done. How cute is that? A very sweet pouch. I know it looks tedious to put together. The more you do, the easier it goes, and you'll remember all of the folds. You won't need to keep referencing the video. So have fun making these. If you have any questions along the way, just let me know, and I'll have some additional details on my blog with the supplies that I used today. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.